Hello, and thank you for coming. My name is David George. I'm the pastor here at Oakville Assembly of God. The events of last Sunday evening were tragic and shocking from all points of view. It was my request to remain unnamed and out of the media spotlight for the actions that I performed. You need to know that it was not out of shame or regret that I wanted to maintain a small level of anonymity. My intention was and is to maintain the dignity and the integrity of my ministry here at the church and within the community. And I didn't want those actions to overshadow the ministry of my church here or my service to the community that I love. Secondly, I and my family needed time to process the events, ensure one another's well-being, and just love each other. This was a traumatic experience for us and all of those involved. Third, I felt it was important to give the authorities the time that they needed to investigate an already chaotic scene of events. They needed time to determine the truth as best as they were able without the hue of media-fueled speculation and interpretation on the part of potential witnesses. Fourth, the lives impacted by the event needed to be considered. Whether the gunshot victim and his family or the friends and the family of the shooter, whose lives will certainly be impacted by the choice that he made that day. And I want to thank the media outlets that respected my request to remain anonymous and give me the space needed to process things before going public. I'd also urge others to reevaluate their position and procedures in approaching such events. Though I'm not the first to say it, do not let the rush to be the first person to report hinder the responsibility that all of you have to accurately report the news. That being said, I have, in my understanding, been cleared of any wrongdoing in the matter with regards to my fatally shooting the man. Who instigated the violence on June 17th. Thanks, it's my job. Here's my account of the events. My family and I were at Walmart on Sunday afternoon. I'm not emotional, there's just a big logging truck going by. Okay, that was a lie. We were at Walmart to make an exchange. I was speaking with an employee at the customer service desk while my wife and my daughter and my granddaughter were in a checkout line to purchase additional items. I heard shots fired near the back of the store. I am a concealed weapons carrier and a permit holder with significant training in the use of firearms and some of the legalities involved in a defensive encounter. As a volunteer firefighter, I have also received active shooter training. In addition, I'm a credentialed range safety officer. I train regularly to be proficient with the firearm that I carry, and I do so in a safe and a responsible manner. All that to tell you this, I was sure that what I heard was gunshots, and I'm was familiar with how I should respond considering mine, my family's, and the public safety. I was concerned for my own family, and I sought to find them and exit the building. My daughter, recognizing the gunshots, also gathered her daughter and moved quickly to exit the building. I did not see my wife at that time, so I continued to look for her and stay in the building as people began to realize the situation and run out of the building. At no time did I draw my firearm in the building. It was at this point the gunman came past me, waving and pointing his gun, and he exited the building. I followed carefully along with another citizen carrying a firearm, unaware of what the shooter would do next or where he would do it. The gunman attempted to get a car, and when he failed, he moved to another, screaming at the driver. He then shot 2 times into the driver's side of the vehicle. When the driver did not or could not respond to his threats, he began to travel in the direction that I thought my family to be. It was at this point that I left cover and moved to intercept the gunman. When the gunman began threatening another person for the use of their car, I moved in order to have a safe shot at the gunman. He entered the vehicle, which I considered an even bigger threat, and I fired to stop the shooter. After being hit, the gunman tried to exit the vehicle and fell to the ground. I moved to clear the gunman, yelling to him to drop the gun and show me his hands. I determined the gunman was incapacitated and unable to respond to me at that time. It was then that I heard somebody associated with the previous gunshot victim yelling for help that her friend or husband had been shot. I directed the other armed citizen to remain with the gunman, and I retrieved my jump bag first aid kit from my nearby vehicle in order to render aid to the previous gunshot victim. I am an EMT with the Oakville Fire Department, and I responded as my duty and my training instructed. While I am a pastor here at Oakville Assembly of God, I am also an EMT firefighter with Oakville Fire Department. I am proficient with the use of the firearm that I carry and trained appropriately to use it in a defensive setting. I carry a firearm for the same reason that I carry a first aid bag, hoping never having to use them, but always being prepared nonetheless. I acted on Sunday to protect my family and others from the gunman and his display of obvious deadly intent. This is in accordance with both my training as an emergency responder, as my calling as a pastor, a husband, a father, and a grandfather. I am grieved that the shooter's reckless actions endangered and hurt numerous individuals and demanded that he be stopped before doing more harm. My family, my congregation, and I are praying for the gunshot victim's full recovery and for all those that are suffering as a result of Sunday night's tragic events, including the shooter's family. Additionally, I would like to express my thanks to the other armed citizens for his concern and actions for the public's safety that day. I would also like to thank the two people who responded to the need for aid to the injured victim. They moved to help even when it was completely unclear that the danger was over. And finally, thank you to the media team that provided contact information. Between myself and the victim's family, we were able to connect and share progress being made in his condition, and that means a lot to me. I will not be taking any questions this morning or interviews at this time. I would ask that you would respect that request and direct further inquiries regarding the event to the proper authorities. If you need or would like a hard copy of this release, they are available. I have them here for you. If you need an electronic copy, please leave your card with Chief, although I see some of you have already done that, and we will be able to send those out later this afternoon. Thank you.